question that I've gotten is, does body language differ in Japan compared to Western countries? And you may have seen on Give Me a Flake Man when Hiko Simon actually did a segment on it, but I'm going to go ahead and review some of these for you just to let you know how some things do differ in Japan.
Hey Scott, I know body language, look. Is this sexy?
Yeah, that's not what I meant. Anyway, what I'm talking about is daily hand signals that you'll probably use when living in Japan. And some of the most important ones are, for instance, in Western countries, if we say I or me, I'm talking about me, we point to ourselves. And we use it probably about chest point for the most part. But in Japan, the finger's usually brought up to the nose and actually put sometimes on the very tip of the nose. Okay, and they say me, I mean me, okay? Not you, me, okay? They use their nose. Okay, the next thing is, if you ask someone to come here in a Western country, you usually have the hand facing up saying, hey, come here, come here, come here. But in Japan, they actually face it down and say, hey, come here, okay? If you teach little children, this is pretty vital to know because they might be a little bit confused by the hand facing up. And our final one's a really good one to know if you make a huge mistake. Hold your hand about to the very end of your nose here, like you're going to do a karate chop like that, okay? And you say, oh, gomenasai, gomenasai. Okay, you wave your hand like this, like, oh, don't worry about me, okay? I'm being stupid, or don't bother with me, okay? So it can be for if you make a big mistake, you say, oh, gomenasai, gomenasai. Or you can just say, oh, don't worry about me, okay? So it has two different meanings that you can use. Okay, our next question is one that I get again and again, and I've addressed it again and again. And that is research, okay? I still get loads of questions from people who ask things that could just be Googled in a matter of seconds, okay? And for that, I'm going to go ahead and just throw a bunch more research stuff out there, okay?
Hey, now don't you worry, Scott. I research. I watch all them Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan films. Uh-huh.
That stuff isn't even Japanese. Okay, so your research, it should definitely cover a lot more than just watching a bunch of people who live in Japan making YouTube videos. I mean, I thank you for watching all this stuff, and I'm sure my other friends who make these are really happy you do too, but we're not the end-all be-all of Japanese information. You may want to refer also to some classic literature, such as like early classics as the Hagakure or Bushido Code, or even the Tale of the Genji, which is one of the first books ever written in Japan. And even some later classics, like something written by Yatsunari, what's his name? Yatsunari Kawabata. And he wrote things like Snow Country and Beauty and Sadness. That's definitely worth checking out if you want a little bit on Japanese literature, or even the history of where some Japanese mannerisms, culture, traits, and etiquette comes from. Also, check out some more websites, okay? There's loads of websites out there about Japan. It's all about just searching, okay? I've really noticed if you put in the word gaijin, you really get a lot of hits on Japanese websites. So here's some good ones, okay? dailygaijin.com, okay? That's probably the end-all be-all of news about Japan. That will give you every single source of news on websites and published in paper about Japan daily. Okay, it can't get any better than that. Our next one is ohayosensei.com, and that one will link you up to a bunch of zines in different areas. The one in my area is called Kansai Zine, or Kansai Flea Market, and that'll actually link you up to the websites connected to those zines. And our last one, it's pretty obvious, japanzine.com. You can probably guess what that's about. Check those out, just for starters. But really, Google your own stuff, do your own research. Like I said, try to research as much as you can before you come. A really good question I got in my mailbox the other day was, what things should I bring to Japan that won't be there when I get there? That's a good one.
Huh? Do I really need anything more than my fork on a necklace? Should I bring a knife on a necklace too?
Yeah, there's different things you want to bring other than a fork and a knife on a necklace. Some things you might want to think about are some non-perishable items that you can't get in Japan. Okay? The first thing I'm going to talk about, and I've seen a lot of other YouTubers talk about this, but I'm going to go ahead and mention it too for my viewers. Deodorant. Okay? Some people say, well, wait, Scott, Japan doesn't have deodorant? No, 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 it has deodorant, but they only have spray deodorant. And honestly, for me personally, it just doesn't cut it, okay? I like to use a roll-on. I think it works way better. That's my personal opinion, maybe. Maybe you'll be fine with the spray deodorant out here, but if you want to roll on, you need to bring it. Next is toothpaste, okay? They don't have Crest out here. I like Crest, okay? They actually don't have any of the American brands out here for the most part. I'm sure there's some stores that on a rare occasion do carry them, but for the most part they're not easy to find. So if you have a certain brand of American or Western country toothpaste that you prefer, you need to be bringing it or have it sent to you. Now here's some things I have sent to me, okay, that it's almost impossible to find out here. Our first one is peanut butter, okay? Now you can buy it. You can buy it at Costco. I've bought it there before, and places like Yamaya and other foreign stores. But sometimes it's either outrageously priced or they don't have the brand I want. I want Jif. I haven't found it here in Japan. Another thing I like, of course, jelly. Now, I have yet to find decent jelly in Japan. If you know where it is, you can go ahead and write me an email and say, Scott, it's so easy to find, blah, blah, blah store. Okay? But when I've looked at different types of supposed jelly in Japan, it turns out to be some weird fruit spread that is just like syrup with a fruit flavoring. Okay? I want real jelly.
Sayonara. I'll just spoke Japanese.